I'm Maureen Smith. I was a vowed member of the community for 13 years, and I've been a co-member now for 45 years, so I've considered Loretto my home for a long time.
I'm Sister Anthony Mary Sartorius. I'm the service coordinator here at the Mother House, and I've been in the community for 65 years. We're in the midst of the Nature Preserve Cemetery that was set aside for green burial for people who are interested in that. As far back as 2004, I was interested in this green burial, as it was called, because I was interested in saving our woodland. I've always thought that I'd ask to be buried in the woods somewhere, so that we could keep our woods safe and not have developers come in and do something with it. And then I came upon this article. It was in the AARP bulletin about green grave sites, and was very interested in it. So that was kind of my first interest in this idea of a nature preserve cemetery, in which we have the whole cycle of life going on. We have brand new plants. We are here to bury the dead, dust them to dust, and so it's a beautiful setting, and it does preserve the land for the living for the future.
I moved to the Mother House almost 4 years ago, and it seems to me they were at the beginning of investigating green burials. And it's just wonderful the way Loretto moved so quickly from investigating green burials to having 3 beautiful women right here for us to come visit. So I was very interested from the first I saw it. They showed films of people out in the woods digging their own grave, and they showed the burial ritual, very much like our burial ritual that we have here, and I just loved it. And I also have been quite concerned about the environment for a long time. And I'm one of those people who pours half a cup of water and brushes my teeth. Sometimes I forget and turn the water on and say, what are you doing that for? But I really work to be a good citizen of the earth. So I love the idea. My oldest daughter was horrified. She kept saying, Mom, we want to go where we can visit your tombstone. We want to go to a cemetery. So I said, Katie, if that's what you want, okay. But I think it's a wonderful idea. And I kept at it. Finally she said, Mom, it's your life and it's your death. You do what you want to. So I was one of the first ones to sign up for the green burial when we had the opportunity. And I just love the idea of going back to the earth in a natural way, surrounded by so much beauty, and still contributing to the very end. Okay. And I heard a wonderful story about our first green burial, which is Carol Kyman. And she came because they finally were ready to bring the carts down, and she witnessed it, and she said, oh, I love it, that's what I want. And within a couple weeks, she died very suddenly. It was our first burial. So she was someone who was just coming for information, who became our first resident here. And wonderful.
And what here?
Well, one of the things I loved about them, I've always loved our simple burials at the Mother House. And we pretty much followed that ritual, which I loved. But I really love the fact that the grave is open, that we watch the body being lowered, that we sprinkle it with the greenery so the person will lay comfortably, that after she is buried, we sprinkle her with more greenery and flowers, and then we all share in the burying of it. And the very first funeral where I witnessed anything like that was a Jewish funeral of a grandmother-in-law of mine. And I was so touched even then about how he doubled the dirt in, and I've always, I'm sure that's what happened with our pioneers. I'm sure we protected the earth for thousands and maybe millions of years. And I know even our elephants do that. So it was just so touching to know I'd be a part of that history.
That's great.
I actually think it fits into our smaller efforts because it's so simple and easy to do. And I know as I try to be sustainable in my own life, I worry about, what about the plastic I put over my food to carry home? Is that biodegradable? There are so many things we don't know. And there's so many things, like could I really put my litter in a paper bag and not a plastic bag? Or would it spill all over and this whole community would be coming out of? So this is such a simple, beautiful way to do it without being worried that you're not doing it right, and just wanting to do it so perfectly.
Well, I was thinking of the sustainability. I think the woods are a wonderful example of that idea of sustainability. You have the old trees, and you have the young saplings, and then you have the little tiny seedlings that are coming up, and it's always regenerating itself. It's a real cycle of life that you see in our woodlands, and they use what is here. And the trees don't go out and buy fertilizer, and they don't go out and find a stake to keep them up. But somehow or another, through the help of the other trees around, they grow and are nourished and become a beautiful area for people to sit and enjoy, to enhance the beauty of the property, it gives so much to the earth. Each tree gives off oxygen for us. So I think it's a great teacher for us, a great lesson for us to learn, to contemplate and think about what it is that we have here in our woodlands.
I would say one other thing too, because I've been pondering a lot recently. I was growing up on the message, it is better to give than to receive. And all of a sudden we become a little older and it's so hard to receive. We want to keep giving. And I just rather die than to have somebody carry my tray. Come on. So, but this is, the earth is receiving my body. And so it's that final gift I am receiving to be buried here. So it's like it's a perfect ending to life. To be receiving and to be letting those who bury me be giving at the very end.